Hello and welcome back to my channel Inspiring Life Design. My name's Karina and I love to share with you all things to do with personal development and different ways to make money online through various different income streams with the ultimate goal of seeking financial freedom or financial independence. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my update for how I got on with my goals in January this year. I've got my notes written out ready, so I'm going to crack straight on to let you know how things went. By the way, if you haven't already seen my initial goals video for 2020, you can check that out in my channel. I'll also pop a link below so that you can see the overview and the initial thoughts behind the goals that I set. So the first category that I'm going to talk about is called spiritual and growth. And within this category, it's all about ways that I can learn new things and grow as a person. So the kind of goals that I had in here, first of all, was to finish Tony Robbins' Ultimate Edge program. Now, I've been working through this with people on my morning call. I'd been doing that up until about the end of December. However, one of the people on the call who I've been working through it with has been away on an extended holiday, very nice, for over a month. I think they're just about back now. So that's been on hold. I haven't made any further progress with that yet. We'll see whether we pick that up now that he's back. The next one was to read 3 personal development books. And by the way, these goals are set to be achieved over the next 6 months rather than the year for 2020. I thought I'd try that this year because it feels like my goals tend to change within the space of a year. So I thought if I set 6 yearly goals, it will naturally bring me to that review point halfway through the year. So read 3 personal development books. I think I've done a tiny bit of reading, but I haven't really made any significant progress on that one. And then I also had to do 2 Master Co meditations. Master Co speaks at Tony Robbins' Unleash the Power Within event on day 4 normally, and I am signed up to get notified when he does live meditations. I haven't done one of those yet this year, so I'm not doing so great so far, but don't worry, there's definitely progress being made still to come. And the final thing for this category was to set my goals for July to December, because like I said, I've just set these goals for the first 6 months of the year. I'm not going to look at doing that until about June time, so it's too soon to have started that yet. The next category I've called absolute financial freedom, because this is one of my major life goals. I want to become financially independent. The first goal in this category is to fill my 2019-2020 ISA. Now, before I can actually do that, I need to open a new ISA. I need to find a new provider that has fees that suit my investing style, which is probably once or twice a year in lump sums. So I've started a little bit of research on that, but I've still got some more to go. So I haven't finished that goal yet, but it's kind of in progress. The next goal was to reformat my finance spreadsheets. I made really good progress on that. I've set up spreadsheets that stretch all the way through to, I think it's July next year. I like to get organised, so I've gotten really far advanced with my spreadsheets. I've still got some jiggling around to do on those spreadsheets to add in a few new things that I want to track, but I feel I've made really good progress with that one. The next thing is to transfer spare cash that I have in my current account into an instant access savings account that I opened in December last year. And the idea behind that is I want any excess cash that I still want to have accessible, but I want it to be making at least a little bit of interest. And my current account makes 0 interest, but the savings account that I open in December makes, I think it's about 1.35% in a year. So it's not great, but it's better than nothing. And I think that's called the Marcus account. I forget which company it is, but I'll try and remember to put a note below. And then, the last goal in this category is to keep my finance sheets up to date to track my spending. So I'm pretty much on track with that. I just got one or two small bits to update on January, and then that's done. And then I'm into tracking my February finances against what I planned. Moving on. The next category is called Feeling Alive and Adventurous. And the purpose of this category is just to remind me that it's important to always be thinking about ways that we can do things to stretch ourselves, a bit of a tongue twister, and to make ourselves feel alive. And I couldn't think of many ideas in terms of goals for this category this year, but I did put one down for the next 6 months, which was filming a YouTube video with Dean Graziosi. Now that actually, I filmed that. So I did this. It did make me feel very alive. It was quite nerve-wracking for me to do, I've got to say, but also very, very exciting. What a wonderful opportunity to be able to have somebody like Dean Graziosi come and film with me. We did it online, but you'll be seeing that video on my channel really soon. It's going to be coming out later this month. So yeah, that definitely pushed me way outside of my comfort zone. Okay, the next category is called Giving Back in a Big Way. And this one I had down that I was going to give 1% of inspiring life design profits to charity. With this one, rather than tracking this month on month, I find this easier to do in one go. So I will probably look at that around May, June time and see how much I've got to donate to charity. The next category is called Serve My Inspiring Life Design Community. So we're into my business categories now. All the previous ones were more to do with my personal life. So the first goal here was to determine my niche for inspiring life design. So it's something that I've been giving a lot of thought to over the past several months, trying to really think about who I want to help, who I want my customers to be moving forwards. The latest position that I've got to, and I'm not going to say that this is completely where it's going to end up, but I'm feeling pretty good about where I've got to so far. I'll read it out to you so that you can see what I'm thinking. I've got that I help people who are passionate about personal development to create and grow their own business so that they can achieve financial freedom. So hopefully that gives you a feel for what's going on in my head and my thought processes and how I can shape the content that I put onto my website and this YouTube channel and my social media and so forth, and how I can help frame things so that I can serve as best as possible and come up with ideas and products and just useful how-tos on helping people with those things, basically. So the next goal was to then write down who my ideal customer is, think about what they want and where they hang out. So I haven't moved on to this step yet because I kind of wanted to make sure that I got my niche refined first. So that is coming soon. I'm going to take a quiet moment and sit down and have a think about that and do a bit of research. Then I had that I would like to grow my email list. So this is kind of like a stats goal. It was currently at 47 at the start of the year, and my ambition by the end of 6 months is to grow that to 350 people. I have to say I haven't actually moved at all on this one. I'm still at 47 subscribers. But that's okay. I've still got 5 months left to go, and I've got some ideas on how I will look to grow that. So there's still time on that one. Then I want to create a 12-month blog post content plan. So for Inspiring Life Design, I'm really pleased that I've been managing to post more consistently so far this year. I think I'm averaging one a week, which is fantastic. But what I'd love to do is kind of put a bit of advanced thought in to what I want to post about each week, to maybe try and make sure that there's a theme running through it and that the content really adds value. So I need to sit down and have a think about how that pans out from February through till December. So I've started that. Clearly I've started it because I've done all of my January posts. I have done a little bit of planning into February, but most of that is still to do. The next goal is to create and schedule content on the website all the way through until September 2020. The idea of this one is really, once I've got that plan of what I'm going to be writing about, to try and get ahead of the game so that my posts are written and scheduled in advance, whereas at the moment I'm quite often writing the post in the week of when it goes out, or even on the day that it goes out, which is quite frequent. I really like to try and get a bit ahead so that I can feel a bit more organised and give myself a little bit of leeway if, say, I'm ill one week or something like that. Right, then the next goal is to increase my domain authority. I have talked about domain authority before, but it's just one method of grading a website's, I want to say popularity, I'm not quite sure that's really the right word to use, but yeah, it's to do with how many people come to the site, how many links there are coming to a site, etc. And I've been tracking my domain authority probably for over a year now, I would say, and my goal for this year is to increase it from 25 to 26. It's out of 100, by the way, so a fresh website starts off at 1, an absolutely amazing website that everybody goes to, like Google for example, would be 100. So I'm at 25 and I'd really like to get it to 26 by June. I'm still at 25, working on that still, so work in progress. And then the last goal under this category is to hit 1,000 sessions in a 30-day period. So it's a bit of a techie goal. Again, it's kind of to do with your website's visitors, number of visitors coming, and I think I chose to track sessions because I know some brands use it as a measure for whether they will work with you, but I could just as easily be tracking new users to my site, and in fact I may change this goal before the 6 months is out if I feel that it's a better measure to be tracking. But for now at least, I can say that in January, or as at the start of February, I had 372 sessions in a 30-day period. So still a way to go, but that's better than it has been for me. So I'm starting to see a little bit of increase and a little bit of progress based on the consistency of the blog posts that I've been writing. So yay, that's awesome. Right, the next category is all about growing my Inspiring Life Design community. And under this area is kind of around things that I do to reach out. So this YouTube channel, being on social media and attracting new people to what I do. The first goal that I had was to create a 12-month YouTube content plan. Now I've successfully done that up until the end of March, and that's actually planned out week on week what I will post. But I've also, in doing that exercise, got a lot of ideas for videos beyond that. I just haven't planned them out into a timeline. So I've made really good progress with this, but I do have further to go. The next goal is to grow my YouTube subscribers from 351, which is where I was at in January, to 1,000 subscribers by June. And as at the end of January, I had 361 subscribers. So I've gone up by 10, which means I've got a lot of work to do to get that up to 1,000. But I've got a few ideas for what might help to get me to increase that as the year goes on. So fingers crossed that's still going to be achievable for me. Then I've got another stats type one. So this is around Instagram. I'd love to grow that from 2,330 up to 3,000 by June. And at the moment it's at 2,341. And Twitter, I'd like to grow from 1.4k to 2k. And the exact number was 1,434. When I last looked, it was actually down a little bit, 1,428. So I've not been massively focusing on Twitter. It's kind of like an extra social media for me, just because with YouTube and Instagram, they're quite time consuming, and there's only so much time in a day when you've got a blog as well and newsletters, etc. that I send out. But yeah, so I've still got some thinking to do around what I could do to increase my Twitter reach. Moving on to the final category, and this is all about creating and marketing products that are life-changing in the realm that I'm in, so in personal development and personal finance. So I've got 3 goals here. The first one is to fully support the Knowledge Broker Blueprint launch. This is a course and program really, and really it's an entire community that I got involved with last year as an affiliate partner. And I've done the course in its entirety. I've watched all the content. I've jumped well into the Facebook group. So I absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. And there's going to be a new updated version of the course coming out later in February, which I'm so excited to see. And I really want to let people know about that. As soon as I get to see it and get to understand it a bit more, I'll be sharing my thoughts on it and what things it can do for you. Basically, it's a great way of starting a side hustle or an income stream business with very little learning required. You can use knowledge that you already have. That's the whole idea behind it. So I've been preparing for that launch. That's in progress. I've still got more to do, but I feel confident and really happy with where that's at. Then the next goal it's a bit of a stretch goal. I think I mentioned that last time, and that was to create an evergreen course, which is essentially a course that I can offer for sale that is all online, it's all pre-recorded, and I can sell it ongoing, evergreen. So I haven't started that. Whether I'll have the time to get to that within this 6-month period, I don't know, but I've got it there as a stretch goal. And finally, I've got that I would like to create printables to sell on Inspiring Life Design. So these are, the idea behind this is to have small products, things that people can download and print out and use that give them a head start in their side hustles and small businesses that they're getting started with, so that they don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. I haven't made a start yet on creating any of those printables to sell. I do have the facility to be able to sell things through Inspiring Life Design, so that's great. I researched how to do that last year. I think I will probably wait until after the Knowledge Broker Blueprint launch now to work on that, because that's where my focus is for the next couple of months. And that is all of my goals for the next 6 months. I hope that you've enjoyed that rundown. It's interesting tracking them and being accountable on YouTube to have to talk through them, because it kind of makes you realise, I haven't done that yet. So yeah, I could recommend it. If you want some accountability for achieving your goals or working on them, get a YouTube channel started and put yourself out there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed hearing about them. If you've got any comments, let me know down below. Always love to hear from you. And if you liked this video, please give it the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to say bye for now, and I will see you next time.